So if you take advertising and if you take alchemy, ads and alchemy, and you put them together, you get ADKEMIX. And from ADKEMIX, we have Damien de Foucault, who is our next speaker, and he is going to look specifically at operating systems. So we saw a little bit from Ophélie on this. He's going to dive into a bit more detail on that. Damien, over to you.
Thank you, everyone. And thanks for welcoming me here. And so I think last time I came to Istanbul, I was part of the Kantar Media team, and we were pitching TV audience measurement in Turkey. And we won the pitch, actually. I left Kantar Media a couple of years ago, 6 or 7 years ago, and I created my own company. And I discovered, while I was signing an agreement with TV Extra to help them expand their services across France and Western European countries, I realized that the market was like a jungle or a gold race. When you're in gold race, you don't know whether you should sell horses or you should sell whichever else kind of tools. So I started creating a survey, which became a global survey. Please be indulgent, because the data I collected is very heterogeneous, but I'm counting on you guys to help me strengthen those figures that you're going to see afterwards. First thing that really, which I really think was striking, was the diversity, the amazing diversity of this ecosystem, which I put together into one slide. So I think you were happy for me to send you the presentation, because it's the only one-page presentation of the conference, as far as I know. But there are plenty of things in it that we can discuss. I'll just give you the bullet points from my point of view of what the situation is. So, ta-da, be careful. It's going to be a lot of information on one. Yeah, that's it. So it's a big table. Well, it's a market survey on the TV OS. There's a couple of things to mention at this stage, which is that I wanted to focus on the embedded OS within the TV screens. That's why you won't see the logo of Apple. However, in the figures I collected, when I said that those figures were heterogeneous, I mean that in the number of active devices, some of the players provide figures based on the actual number of active devices. Some others are providing figures of the number of devices which they sold last year. Some others are providing figures based on MAUs, monthly active users, which has different definition, and some other published figures regarding their OS, which can be embedded within TV screens or within dongles or set-top boxes, I'm not sure, but dongles, I mean TV sticks, as you know them. So I apologize, because those figures, despite claiming that it's a wonderful ranking, it's really heterogeneous data. So if you can help me improve the accuracy of those figures, I'd be very happy, and we can have a discussion after during the coffee break. You have the 5 stars. What we call the 5 stars are the 5 leading OS. One important thing to mention is most of the OS you see until the end, most of them, I would say 2/3, are Android forks. So it's an important thing to mention. If we were to compare this ecosystem with the PC ecosystem or mobile phone ecosystem, on the PC you have basically Apple, Linux, Microsoft, Android, more or less. In the mobile ecosystem you have only 2 which remained living. In the TV, that gives you an idea of the diversity. You have a little, I'm just going to comment from the left side to the right side. You have those little icons. The green ones means that the OS is homemade. In other terms, is sort of a private operating system which has been built by the original equipment manufacturer, Tizen being the OS of Samsung. I have interviewed the head of Samsung TV Plus Western Europe a couple of weeks ago, and he said to me that Tizen was about to expand on other TV brands, which means that they seem to be open. I thought that they were only embedded within Samsung. Loewe, the famous premium brand, which you may know, and some others will come soon. However, the big question is, aren't those guys developing new walled gardens? Because they actually understood that they can generate other sources of revenue within the advertising market. And the thing is that we see that the leaders are trying to develop private ecosystem, which is a bit frustrating for me, I would say. LG OS, WebOS is the one from LG, as you know. So within those 5 stars, you have Americans and Koreans only. Roku TV, I have put a different pictogram, the red one, which means that this is an interesting move because Roku TV was initially providing software, operating system, and they started building their own TV screens, which is an interesting move. Another interesting move, which is not mentioned in this survey, but we can discuss it, is Vizio. You know that Vizio has been acquired by Walmart 2 years ago, approximately. It's an interesting thing because I was trying to transpose this fact within the European market. It's like Carrefour was acquiring Panasonic or Sony or whatever. And I was actually wondering whether there was a hidden business model behind it. The interesting thing is that probably one day or another, Walmart will be selling very big TV screens at a very cheap rate. But the counterpart of it is that the end user will have to probably to subscribe to a specific fast TV offering or specific bundle of content. So the interesting thing is that the variety of this ecosystem actually hides an amazing variety of business model. If I just give you an example in the French market, I don't know if some of you guys remember, TF1, France is a totally different market because as you know, it's a set-top box market, so HbbTV, that's the French paradox. I don't know why, we participated to the invention of the HbbTV standard, but Vincent and I are preaching within the desert. They actually, I remember the day when 3 years ago, TF1 said to Orange, which is the former public service telephone company, and TF1 said, hey, I am bringing the content to you. If you had no content, you wouldn't have that number of subscribers. And Orange said, yeah, sure, but due to my market share, if I weren't existing, you wouldn't have that level of audience. And TF1 said to Orange, you're going to pay me for that because I'm bringing the content. And Orange said, yes, but I am transporting the content to the end user, so you should pay me. At the end of the day, Orange paid a couple of millions per year to TF1. And there's a smaller TV group called RMC in France which say the same, hey, we can generate another source of revenue, so let's have a discussion with Orange set-top box provider. And Orange said, I'm not going to pay you a dime. And what happened was a black screen during 6 hours. What I'm trying to explain to you is that there is no established business model in this new ecosystem. What is happening is a power ratio, because according to the size of your company, you can ask money to your transporter or the other way around, which is the interesting thing. I'm not going to comment all the figures. Another trend I wanted to comment with you is that some of the original equipment manufacturers developed their own private operating system, and they decided to move to some Android fork or to Google TV, and some of it did the other way back, because they didn't want probably to be too dependent from Google. They were probably frightened of being obliged to display the YouTube icon on the home screen. Why not? When at the end of the day, it's all a question of control. So the interesting thing is that there are two antagonist trends in this market. Some are moving from their own homemade operating system, whereas some others moving from it to Google TV, and some others are doing the other way, which is another interesting key fact. Well TV, Vida, etc. I have mentioned to you the main TV brands. The thing is that there are more than 300 different TV brands around the world, so it's hard to find information. It was also hard to find information on the Chinese domestic market, so plenty of information on the APAC region. But the Chinese domestic market, there are plenty of question marks, and it's hard to find information there. So yeah, basically this is it. The hidden information in that is that for those who are developed on Android, on an Android fork, there is probably a double count on those 270 million active devices. So I need to further dig on this information in order to bring a more accurate survey. And the thing I wanted to mention is that we can update this survey every month because it is changing so fast. I discovered that another interesting thing, Amazon is not replacing Fire TV by Vega. The thing is that they have started developing their own homemade operating system called Vega. What I understood from their press release is that Vega is going to be installed on rather the low part of the TV range, so I'd say small TV screens, where our Fire TV is going to coexist with Vega for the next 5 years minimum, because they need time to develop all the features. What is frustrating overall is that, yeah, as I said to you, France is a set-top box market. We have put the set-top box in the middle of the game, and we have, they became the real gatekeeper. And the reason why TF1 is no more paying any euro to Orange is that Orange has understood that they can sell their data to the broadcasters, which brings another parameter to the business model. So, well, it's very interesting. We could comment for hours. Yeah, I think this is it. So theoretically, it excludes all the other devices, the set-top boxes, the dongles, the TV sticks, etc., the cubes, whatever, you name it. It's only embedded TV OS. But I'd be happy to make it more accurate with you guys. So thank you for listening to me.
Thank you, Damien. So, personally, I think that...
I need to mention the sources. I've been working in a research group, so when you publish figures, you need to mention the sources. Antoine Chotard, head of Samsung TV Plus Western Europe, Denis Ostier, Antoine Marteau, etc. ChatGPT, thank you, ChatGPT, for helping me, but always double-check with ChatGPT, you know why, and the Google search engine, of course. So.
Thank you, Damien, thank you. So this table that you've shown, personally, I think that table alone, you could just put it up on a screen tomorrow during the unconference and just sit and discuss. There's so much detail in there. So I hope in conversations with people later today, you'll see whether there's a particular aspect that you might be able to bring into the room tomorrow at an unconference session. That would be great. I don't want to take time from Jörn's discussion panel, so I'm not going to take questions for Damien, but he will be around. So thank you again, Damien.